bloody stupid proprietary Bethesda.net account. Who does Bethesda think it is telling me to sign up for that shit? I wouldn't trust Bethesda to safeguard an unopened tin of baked beans, let alone run its own account service. There's a joke of a name. The first thing Doom Eternal told me when I booted the game up was there was an error with Bethesda.net and that it couldn't log me in. I mean, I could still play the campaign and everything, but that's the first thing the game tells you. Or at least it told me, that it fucked up. Anyway, speaking of fucked up, here's Doom Eternal. And when I say fucked up, I don't mean the game fucked up in any way. What I mean is, you can do all sorts of fucked up things to demons. Very much like with the original, very much like Doom 2016. You almost feel sorry for the monsters by the end of it, when they're trying to protect themselves from chainsaws and being punched so hard they turn into blood. Anyway, good game, very good game. Different from Doom 2016. Obviously there are some similarities. You can see many of them here as we, tear imps in half and whatnot. But they have altered the game. It's more intense for one thing. Throwing more demons at you than you've ever seen before, than you may have thought possible. Demons all over the bloody shop. They've also made the game more aggressive, not just for the demons that are all over the place, but for you, the player. You have a lot of different options for doing terrible things to monsters, and all of them are pretty much required to successfully get through the game. For one thing, ammunition is a lot scarcer. You run out of ammunition a lot quicker. And that sounds like a bad thing, except for the fact that the chainsaw in Doom Eternal behaves a little bit differently from in 2016. It always has at least one bit of fuel that recharges over time. You can collect more of it to take on like bigger demons with it, but there's always enough to take out one low-level demon every so often. And you need to do that because that's really where the ammo comes from. You get a big shower of multicoloured ammo when you saw your way through something, which is fun and satisfying, and not a bad way to get that ammo back. In fact, being very cruel to monsters is pretty much how you get anything. Obviously, you can do the glory kills again when an enemy flashes, hit it with a melee attack, and perform some sort of glorious execution. They'll give you some health back, but you've also got a flamethrower, and this is all unlocked over time. You get a flamethrower, which you can just burn enemies with, and then they'll just start spewing pieces of armor like a sprinkler, and then if you kill them, they explode into even more armor. And then there's the blood punch. Get enough glory kills, and then you can punch something and it will explode into blood most of the time, or deal severe damage to bigger monsters. So to make it effectively through Doom Eternal, you are constantly having to switch up what you do. You're firing your weapons, of course, most of the time, performing glory kills, setting stuff on fire, and what was the other one I was talking about? Oh yeah, the chainsaw. That was the sound of the chainsaw making a monster into bits. Anyway, while you're turning monsters into bits, you are also traversing the environment in this really quick, agile way. There are little poles coming out of the wall, and if you go near those, then Doom Guy will grab it and swing. A bit like Prince of Persia, but in first person, and really quick and fluid. Like, amazingly, satisfyingly fluid. Same goes for climbing walls. You jump toward a wall with a climbable surface, hit the melee attack, cling onto it, and then you just scurry up it really quickly, and it feels really good to climb up a wall. And I've never said that about games where you climb up walls. Well, maybe Enslaved Odyssey to the West, which was basically automatic, but looked and felt really nice. And that's an odd thing to do, to compare Doom Eternal to Enslaved Odyssey to the West. I don't know if any of you remember that one. Oh, and you get a little dodge as well, this little dash that you can do twice in the air, and you do it on the ground to avoid stuff, or just to, get around better. So very much like with the weaponry and the different systems for getting different collectibles off of the enemies, you're also encouraged to get around the world in different ways, you know, swinging from poles and then firing at enemies in the air, then dodging to get out the way in the air, and then if you time it just right, you can jump on a flashing enemy on the way down and then rip their head off. This is very much one of these games where the developer could have just sat back, gotten complacent, done more of the same, and to be honest, most of the audience would be absolutely fine with that. Doom 2016 was excellent. The audience would have gladly ate up more, but id Software went one step beyond, one step above. And I wouldn't say they made a completely different game, but they've certainly made enough changes to give it a completely new atmosphere. I'd say it's tougher as well. Like I said, there's a lot more demons, the combat is faster and more intense, and they start throwing arachnotrons at you really quite early. And, on the subject of arachnotrons, when you fight the bigger demons, they have weak points, which are quite fun to exploit. Sometimes they're really hard to hit, like the little fucking gun on the arachnotron. But if you blow that up, then it can't, well, first of all, it can't use it. Second of all, quite a bit of damage on that. You can shoot the rockets off the shoulders of the revenants, and you can fire grenades into the mouths of cacodemons, which is never not fun. Now, visually, it switched things up as well. Now, at a glance, you'd look at it and say, well, it looks just like Doom 2016. But when you play it, you can really feel, well, what could only be described as slapstick. The way the enemies emote when you perform glory kills on them, and some of the glory kills themselves are downright cartoonish, and I highly approve because it's bloody funny. Soundtrack's good too, shamelessly over-the-top guitar riffs, I'm here for that, perfect. The maps are full of secrets, as well as you would expect. It's not just little Doom Marines that you can pick up now. The little Doom guy, the Doom Slayer toys that you can find in Doom 2016, you can get ones for the monsters now. You can get a little Arachnotron toy, and it looks adorable. And again, this is the shameless consumer in me. Whenever I see something adorable in a game, like the Adamas from, like Neo. I haven't done a Jimpressions on Neo 2, have I? And that was one of the few things I got an early review copy of. Bloody hell. I was making a point about something. Oh yeah, basically I want a toy of the Arachnid. I want the toys, the cute toys in real, so I can buy them in real and then have them in real. I like how a moment ago I said that I was going to make a point about something. There's not a point to that. That's just I saw a pretend toy and then I wanted it because I'm an overgrown man-child and fat. The important point is that if Bethesda made Little Toy Arachnotron, I'd buy it. I'm trying to give you money, but I'm sorry, every time I think about giving money to Bethesda, I had to buy my own copy of this game even, so that was money I've already given to Bethesda. Only joking, faithful listener, I'm not going to be sick into my hands and on my tummy, that would be disgusting. But you know, credit where credit's due. id Software has taken the original Doom 2016 and, while not fully reimagining it, reinventing a couple of its wheels and giving Doom Eternal a completely different energy to its predecessor as a result, in a way that makes this game just as good, if not better. So yeah, happy with that. Doom Eternal, pretty damn good. I've not done the multiplayer yet. I may make that its own video if it's worth it. And it might be. I actually liked the multiplayer in Doom in 2016. Even though there was a bit of a mixed response to it, but I found it quite fun. And there you go, I'm off to play Animal Crossing now.